Hey everyone, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. It is Monday, June 5th, and happy Monday. Hope you're doing awesome out there today. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Tilray Brands. Going to go over some technical indicators that say we could potentially see another leg down, and we're going to look at a potential bottom and what price we can potentially expect that bottom to land at. So again, this isn't to come on here and spread FUD. I do think that the price could continue to go lower, and there's no real end in sight, and we're starting to see some weakness in the broader market, and there could be some extended weakness there as well. So we have to be prepared for all scenarios as always, right? Things can go up, down, or sideways. So before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As I mentioned, there's a bear flag right now on the daily time frame, and it does have a measured move of $1.24 USD on the NASDAQ. That's what we'll be charting. But there's a couple of things I want to bring up here before jumping into that. Another article as well from the Motley Fool, which is basically praising Tilray stock, saying that this time's different. It did crash, but things are looking pretty good this time around. But again, it's one of the stocks that I think is going to have long-term staying power, and I own Tilray, so full disclosure. But before we get to it, just want to say again, thank you very much to the community. It seems like every day getting real close to that 500,000 view mark, which was no easy feat. So I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting me along the way. Also made a post an hour ago. This was welcoming the new baby into my family and into my life, because quite frankly it feels like it, but it plays like a dream. It's amazing. I haven't had a guitar basically for the last couple of years. I broke my hand a while ago, and then just really set me back, and I sold my guitar, and then I moved across the country, and then finally back at it again. So this is the new addition to the family. But I did also post that remember to take time to, and I think this is kind of just give you a little bit of backstory for where I'm going with this. It's apparent now more than ever that we need to really take time and therapeutic and do different types of meditation or whatever kind of meditative activities that help shut off our mind. And I think that's something that we can do, especially in the MJ space, because it's not easy seeing prices go down, and we're talking about money and your hard-earned money that you're investing, and then it's not easy to see that money dwindle and to go down. So just remember to do what you love. Make sure to take care of your mental health any way you can. And for me, something that's very therapeutic and I find as a form of meditation is music, and it's a wonderful way for me to shut off my mind, right? Because especially in this day and age, there's so much going on in the world, and if you're like me, my mind's always racing, so it just helps shut that off, right? But I posted a video as well on my shorts playing the song. See if anybody can guess that song. But moving on, Tilray stock just crashed 21%. Here's why it's a better buy, says the Motley Fool. So they give a couple key points. Tilray just issued a fair amount of convertible debt, which is essentially just basically they're going to get a lower interest rate. The company that lent them the money they have an option, so they can later on convert that debt into equity. So they would become a shareholder, and they would own additional shares. If they already own shares, then they would own additional shares. If they're not already a shareholder, then if they converted, they would obviously own a stake in Tilray, or they could just continue to get the interest payments and then not convert into equity at all, right? Into shares. So that's just a type of convertible debt. On a positive note, though, it also refinanced some existing debt, so they extended that out, right? That was due here, I think it was like next year. They extended it out a couple of years. The business isn't in danger of running out of money for now. So again, they said, why not? The AMA, I did a video on that as well, basically going over that AMA. I think I did a live stream actually. Yeah. So it was an AMA update. Ask Me Anything with the CFO of Tilray, and basically they said one of the questions was, how come you didn't use the existing cash to fund the operations that you're looking to do, essentially? And the reason why they didn't want it, or to pay off the convertible debt or whatever, they wanted to save that for potential mergers and acquisitions, was one of the things that they mentioned. And they wanted to they believe that cash is king. So that kind of gives us a little clue that we could potentially see Tilray still in the M&A train. And we know that their deal with Hexo is due to close. The meeting for Hexo is on June 14th, the special meeting. So shareholders will vote to approve that. And then, like I said, we should see Hexo convert into Tilray shares. And I think, we could see another merger coming down the pipeline as well. My guess is as good as yours, but curious, let me know in the comments which company they think Tilray could go after next. VFF was another one. They said that they might be getting into fruits and vegetables. So if they get into fruits and veggies, then VFF would be a pretty good partner, right? So let's see if that comes to fruition. That's my guess. But again, don't have a crystal ball, but let me know in the comments below what you think. It'll have more cash on hand, and it financed at the expense of shareholders. So obviously it is dilutive. It could be dilutive if they, if they go ahead and convert into equity later on, right? Raising capital and refinancing debt can't all be bad. I'm not going to go through this in effort of time, and the market's pessimism might be an opportunity, but I'll link the link to this article in the description here and in the comments, and then you'll be able to locate that. But moving on to the chart here, so there is a daily bear flag at the moment, and a bear flag is just a bearish continuation pattern. And again, if you're not into technical analysis, I wasn't before. I didn't think that there was any truth to it or it didn't work, but I've been practicing this. I've got over 10,000 hours into the markets, and I've seen enough to know that technical analysis does have a benefit of knowing a little bit, enough to be dangerous, right? If you can know a little bit, just enough to be dangerous, then this can really play in your favor, because it's better to know something could happen or has a probability of 60% or 80% or 90%. Or if you look at all these indicators and there's 6 or 7 different indicators saying the price is going to this price or it's going to this price, then you can kind of start to look at the probability needle, and you can probably hazard a guess which way it's going to go, right? Again, markets can go up, down, or sideways, but as long as we have a plan for all, and again, it's better to know that the price could drop or it could go up, and have some reasoning behind that, whether it be technical analysis, fundamental analysis, right? Different catalysts, things that could be coming down the pipeline, right? All those things factor in, and it just gives us an edge, right? So technical analysis doesn't always work, but I can guarantee you it works a lot more than it doesn't, and it is very beneficial to know. And if you don't know technical analysis, it is pretty overwhelming, but realistically, it's not that bad. It's just like riding a bike, right? It starts off really, really difficult, and then it gets easier and easier and easier, and if you don't know where to start, you can always check out our free course on our website. If you go to palgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com, click on Academy. I have a free course there. I do a little intro as well. And then also you can join the Pal Group private community, the chat room that we have. And we've got, tons of analysts in there, including myself, that I can, do charting and things like that. We do private live streams for members, and we do, requests, and we bring up the chart and we tell you what we potentially could see. But what I'm looking at right here is potential downward continuation to about $1.24. So you take the measured move from the high to the low, you move that out to the 0.32 Fibonacci, which is just a mathematical equation essentially that we can use, and it's found in everything, right? It's found in music, it's found in all walks of life, right? And then also in stocks and technical analysis and crypto, all that stuff, right? But if we take the measured move, it's saying we could potentially go as low as $1.24 USD here on the NASDAQ. So this could be a potential bottom, and then that would also line up well with a potential for weekly oversold being the potential bottom marker here. So we never actually, last time we got to weekly oversold was back here in January 2022. And then before that, it was in March, it looks like, of 2020. So we're going on the lowest we've seen. The third, there's only 2 other levels essentially that are where we've been here on the weekly RSI. So it's saying that we're just, basically it's just an indicator telling us that we're oversold and that it's likely undervalued, right? And that we could potentially see a move up in the opposite direction. But as I said, Tilray could be targeting 124 here. And that would mean from the current low here to where we would be going, that's another 24.5%. So that's about almost 25% lower from there, right? So this could potentially see another leg down. And even on the weekly time frame, we're extremely bearish on the stochastic, the MACD. I wish I had better news for everybody, but it looks like we could potentially see this leg down. And then we're well below the 50-day moving average now. There's nothing nearby. I mean, if we can get some kind of positive catalyst or news or something, maybe they announce a deal, we'll see. But at the end of the day, we're not set up well, especially if the S&P 500 were to see any further consolidation, and it looks like it could potentially continue. And then I think we could see pausing of rates here in June, and then we could start to trend back the other way in the broader market. I think the broader market, I did a video, the S&P 500 has a target of about 439 with a weekly bull flag, but Tilray is a daily bear flag with a target of 124 USD. And then SPY ultimately, I've been calling for 439 for the last month or so, and we hit, I think, almost 430 there today. So very close to that target, only like 2.3% away from that target on the S&P 500. But again, I think we're going to be due for some weekly consolidation. We'll pull back in the broader market, and that's going to be bad. That's going to be headwinds for Tilray and the rest of the MJ space. So just, like I said, just prepare for all scenarios. And how I'm preparing is saving. I have a 6-figure cash position that I'm keeping on the side, and I just continue to dollar cost average Tilray. Each time I enter, if I enter at $1.60, then I'll enter maybe, another 10% lower. And then from that entry, another 10% lower, right? So that's just how I do it. And it's all money that I don't need. I never invest any more than I'm willing to lose. It's going to sit for multiple years. I'm prepared for it to all go to zero if that's the case. I don't think that's going to happen, right? I'm not a complete degen, but, that's kind of how things work, right? Even in the early days of the internet, people didn't know there's tons of companies in cryptos. There's tons of cryptos. No one knew which one was going to have staying power in the end, or in the beginning to the end, right? So, you just throw a different 10, 20 different investments, and you hope one hits, right? Find one unicorn, maybe even 2 or 3, and then that could set you up for financial stability and wealth for the rest of your life, right? Generational wealth. So I do believe that MJ will create that generational wealth opportunity, which there's been many runs, like the run up from February 2021. Some of those moves were absolutely insane, right? Saw Tilray at like $67. So it can happen again, and we're going to see exuberant moves to the downside. We're extremely undervalued, but we'll get extremely overvalued at some point, and that'll be a time to take profits. But going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Pow Group. Smash like if you enjoyed the content today and you think I deserve it, and share the video with anybody that might find value. Take care. See you on the next video.